BTS are a great example of what it means to take your life from rags to riches. As we all know, their beginnings in the industry were full of hardships, and their pre-debut might have been even worse. Although the number 7 has become a touching synonym for the members and their friendship, many fans know that BTS weren't initially 7, but 8. Back in 2011, when the members already joined Big Hit Entertainment and spent every waking moment practicing dancing and singing, they were joined by Kim Ji-hoon, who also dreamt about becoming an idol. He decided to become a trainee because of his passion for performing and breakdancing, and in 2011, he competed with more than 20 other trainees. It seems like Ji-hoon had a natural talent for dance. He loved performing and entertaining since he was a small child, and he was scouted by a recruiter in his hometown. When he was asked to audition, he grabbed the opportunity and found himself in Seoul. He quickly moved into a small dorm since back then, Big Hit was very close to going bankrupt and the trainees' living conditions weren't ideal at all. Ji-hoon described their living situation in detail. It used to be in a pretty bad state. It wasn't very spacious and there were only 2 rooms. Sometimes 8 of us lived there all together. His trainee life wasn't much different from what trainees go through nowadays, waking up for school very early in the morning and then going straight to the practice room to train until late at night. By the age of 18, Ji-hoon joined BTS as the 8th member, and together they were chasing one dream, their debut. Ji-hoon's time in the group and in the agency was unfortunately cut short. In 2012, a year after he came to Seoul and became a hardworking trainee and a close friend of the rest of the BTS members, he was dropped from the group. Knowing he was just a year away from their official debut, Ji-hoon thinks about those times with a lot of sadness. In an interview with Vice Asia, Ji-hoon detailed what it was like to be a member of BTS and how their global success makes him feel. By the time Ji-hoon was told that he would not make it into the group's final lineup, he and the rest of BTS were a tight-knit group of friends. At one point, he referred to himself as a second parent to the boys. While the trainee days were difficult, Ji-hoon has a lot of fond memories from those days and considers them to be the happiest memories of his whole life. One memory that is particularly special to him is when J-Hope's mother often brought them food. Ji-hoon and the boys would then spend their breaks between rehearsal sneaking bites of seafood and spicy sauce. There's another memory tied to that one. To this day, Ji-hoon remembers that one night he woke up with an extreme migraine, probably because of all the spicy sauce he ate with the boys, and Suga found him dizzy and on the verge of throwing up in their bathroom. Suga took Ji-hoon to the emergency room at a nearby hospital, filled out Ji-hoon's paperwork, and even paid the hospital bill with what little money they had as trainees. When thinking back to that time, Ji-hoon shared, "When we moved into the dorm, we were very far away from our home and families, so we felt closer together." To Ji-hoon, the Bangtan boys were more than his actual family during the time they lived together. Ji-hoon recalls falling asleep feeling happy every night, sharing a room with the rest of the members, and thinking that his life was only going to get better, or how they would practice together even if it was time to practice individually. Then he got called to the office and was told that his time at Big Hit had come to an end. Remembering that day, Ji-hoon shared, "I had trained hard and practiced every day, sometimes until dawn, so I thought, why haven't I gotten better? What's wrong with me?" Ji-hoon vividly remembers that on his way to Seoul in 2011, he was feeling very conflicted about getting picked as a Big Hit trainee. While he was very excited, a part of him doubted himself, and he wondered if he was good enough to compete with all the other trainees, and being dropped from the group brought all the feelings of self-doubt back. After the meeting, Ji-hoon took himself to the park to compose himself. In the end, Ji-hoon accepted the company's decision and realized that he was in a slump, and that maybe his skills weren't enough to keep up with the others. He decided to break the news to the members himself, and their reactions really show how close they all used to be when they trained together. When Ji-hoon told the members he got cut from the group, they all felt really sorry for him. All the members could do was ask Ji-hoon if he was okay, and even though he was far from it, Ji-hoon said that he was doing fine. Now, being cut from a group's lineup when you're still a trainee isn't necessarily the end of the world, especially when you have real talent. You can easily try again and choose a different company. But Ji-hoon didn't want to go to another agency because of how much he enjoyed Big Hit despite all the difficulties and the poor living conditions. What made leaving for Ji-hoon so difficult was his friendship with the other BTS members. They made a lot of happy memories together that Ji-hoon treasures deeply to this day. It was hard leaving behind his close friendship with the members and other trainees, but it was even harder to let go of his dream of becoming a performer and showcasing his true talent on the stage. Ji-hoon got to the point where he started to blame himself for not making it to the final team. As if everything that happened wasn't mentally challenging enough, Ji-hoon struggled with his personal life as well. Just a short while after he left the company, Ji-hoon got a heartbreaking call that his mother had collapsed. Ji-hoon's parents were supportive from day one, and his mother seemed to be Jihoon's biggest fan. When Jihoon shared the news that the company let him go with his parents, his mother fainted because of all the stress she felt at that moment. Jihoon's performance in school was affected as well. Because of what happened, it was hard for him to attend classes, and at one point, he was at risk of not even being able to graduate high school. Jihoon shared that he was having this emotional breakdown, and he often skipped school because of it. Thankfully, he was able to put himself together and managed to graduate high school just fine. Jihoon and RM graduated on the same day and were able to share another precious memory. All of Jihoon's friends who he trained with attended the ceremony to celebrate with him and RM. Since Jihoon wasn't doing well mentally at all back then, he was really happy to see all of his friends show up. He shared that talking with them and sharing a meal gave him the push to keep moving forward. After he was cut from the group, he once snuck back into the dorm to bring the other members food. Before BTS became the most popular K-pop act across the globe, Jihoon was very open about the fact that he almost became a part of BTS. At that time, BTS just made it past their debut, but were far away from being the household names they are now. As time went on and BTS only got more and more popular, Jihoon stopped associating himself with the group and decided to keep it a secret instead. In the interview with Vice Asia, Jihoon sat down with other ex-BTS trainee Hwang Ji-hwan. Both of them agreed that BTS's success is unbelievable and hard to comprehend because both of them remembered the BTS's members completely differently. They even affectionately called them babies. Even though it's been more than 10 years, Jihoon still feels surreal looking at where BTS are right now because they remind him of who they used to be during their trainee days. Jihoon leads a quiet and normal life, and while he definitely enjoys the life he has, the regret of not being able to spend as much time with his old trainee friends anymore is still strong. At one point, Jihoon confessed that he isn't jealous of BTS's money or their success, but he feels envious because they got to stay together. In the video, Jihoon shared that he's been working as an intern at the Korea Veterans Health Service, and he works quietly in the office most of the time. While his job is without a doubt impactful and important, he still feels like this isn't what he wants from life, and he can't let go of that dream to be a successful artist. Jihoon found his creative outlet on his YouTube channel BTune, where he posts videos about everything that he's interested in, like vlogs from his daily life or thoughts on pop culture. The videos are mainly related to Harry Potter and Spider-Man. Jihoon hopes to remain successful both with his YouTube channel and his job. One of his biggest goals in the future is to see his trainee friends again. While it was easy to keep in touch with the BTS members back in the day, they naturally drifted apart as BTS's career took off and they became busier and busier. Jihoon hopes that one day he will be able to throw a huge party with everyone from his trainee days and see his old friends once again. Even though not everyone knows Jihoon's story to the full extent, it genuinely might be one of the most heartbreaking trainee stories there is because he was just one step away from reaching the ultimate stardom. A lot of people sympathized with Jihoon and his regret of not being given the chance to live the life he's always dreamed of. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Bye!